Good evening. It's Thursday night here at Columbia, Missouri. We've got a special guest on the show tonight. I'd like to welcome you all, owner of the Double Chantantres, Sean Van Beesler. Sean, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty well. How are you,
Good.
Mr. Commissioner?
Thanks for joining me tonight.
Oh, no problem. My pleasure.
So we just gotta get you acquainted with our viewers. We'd like to tell you, ask you what you've been up to here in your first few weeks at Mizzou.
You know, just the usual. Going to class most of the time, working out a little bit.
Yeah?
Yeah,
That's impressive. What's in there? What's that concoction?
It's 8 ounces of natural white milk and some red velvet protein powder.
That's good to hear.
Yep.
Why don't you just show off your muscles a little bit for the camera while I go get myself a drink? All right?
They can see it just fine.
Come on, Sean. Be a, you know. All right, and here we are. So
Little product placement.
Little product placement. That's exactly right. So we got one more question for you. What were your initial feelings about this season after the draft?
Well, you know, same as they are now. I'm going to win the league. It's just a matter of time. Started out rough in week 1, you know. Most of my guys underperformed, namely Adrian Peterson, Eli Manning, Alshon Jeffrey, and Emmanuel Sanders. So that kind of sucked.
That's a lot of players.
But, yeah, they're all good players. They'll all bounce back, I know it. I'm confident.
Yeah, we've got a comment from one of our audience members, Noah Parker. Why don't you go ahead and yell it out loud here?
Doesn't it, no matter what, take the same amount of time for anybody to win the league? So
Oh, no, I'm
just
going
a matter of time.
No, I'm probably going to clinch it by week 7.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yep.
Thank you.
I clinched by week 7, so that'd be a maximum of 6 wins.
Hey.
So that clinches it. All right. Hey, he's confident. I like it. So now we're going to get down to the nitty-gritty, all right?
I like the nitty-gritty.
The past week or so, you've had some big fantasy moves. And it all started Saturday night. You laid your sweet little head down to rest. I don't know what happened, but Sunday morning you wake up and your techniques of playing this game just completely transformed. You made a pickup Sunday morning. Why don't you just enlighten our viewers on that night Saturday
I'd be glad to.
Sunday?
I'd be glad to. Yep. So I went to bed on a Saturday night, just a normal Saturday night, you know, throwing out some Fireball, you know, just the usual. Well, I wake up Sunday morning watching Fantasy Football Now on ESPN News with my friend Caleb, and I see Tyler Eifert in the top 10 of tight ends on fantasy. Now, a couple weeks ago, I was looking at the free agents for tight ends, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Saw that name, Tyler Eifert. I liked it. I put him on my watch list. I saw him in the top 10. I was like, ooh, good matchup. I know Cincinnati's going to throw him the ball in the end zone. Twice, actually. I knew they were going to do it. So I jumped on it, and I dropped Dwayne Allen. Colts, he's a good player, but not good enough for my team. So I picked up Tyler Eifert. Guess what he does? 2 touchdowns, almost outscores Rob Gronkowski.
You know, it was impressive, and none of us can disagree with that. It was a great move out of you, and that might be a highlight of the season. If he pans out the rest of the season, you know, it was a good move early on. So,
Thank you.
probably our most common question from viewers on social media was, why do you spend $45 on Marcus Mariota? You know, a lot of people were wondering, is it a typo? Like, was he high? We just want some direct answers from the owner himself. So
I'd be glad to enlighten the viewers. Well, you see, Marcus Mariota, he had a great game this weekend. I was watching him. He was also on my watch list. I was watching him. He played great. I didn't actually watch the whole game, but from what I saw, he was great.
Yeah, I was going to say, because it wasn't on TV here. So.
Yeah, yep. So, anyways, I have Eli Manning. He's a pretty good quarterback, but Marcus Mariota, he's a rookie. Could do what RG3 did a couple years ago for me and just light up the league. So I wanted to be sure I got him. May have overspent. I think I did. But I just want to be sure I got him. I'm confident that he's going to be great for me, and I'm glad I spent 45 virtual waiver dollars on him.
Yeah, and just to clear it up for any of you guys that aren't so good at math, like Eric, that's almost a third of his money. So if you keep up this pace, you'll get 3 acquisitions this year. Do you think that'll be able to get you a championship? You
The
confident?
team
with
I
your
drafted
now?
is great. I made a great trade earlier today, so I'm confident I won't need to make too many more.
All right. So on the topic of that trade, why don't you just go ahead and tell the viewers the break it down? How did it evolve? How did that idea come about?
Well,
So for those of you who don't know,
Oh.
Sean traded his highest paid draft pick, Adrian Peterson, and wide receiver Martavis Bryant.
Yep.
For Drew Brees and rookie Amir Abdullah. So he needed a quarterback, and he got that. So why don't you go ahead and tell us just how it happened?
Well, so first off, Eric sends me a trade this morning, as he did, I think, every other player in the league. I didn't really like it. I told him that. I said I needed a quarterback or a tight end, and I know you don't have a tight end. But he's like, oh, well, I can give you Drew Brees. So I was like, okay, what do we got here? So we discussed it for a while. I was hesitant. Then my good friend Benny Feilhaber actually Snapchatted me. Said he thought it'd be a good trade for both teams. I agreed. I just didn't know if I wanted to part ways with my highest paid player so early. But in the end, I felt it was the right thing to do. So I pulled the trigger and pressed accept.
And it's a ballsy move.
Yep.
It could pay
And
out.
I will say this.
Yeah, I like it.
Martavis Bryant, he's a great player, but he doesn't really fit into my plans. If I want to win the league by week 7, he's suspended for the first 4 weeks of the season, so he's not going to really be able to
That's
impact
a
my
very
team
valid
very well.
point. You know, if you're going for this early success, like he's not going to help you out that much. You know.
Right.
So yeah, that basically breaks down that trade. Now, just quick flashback. I know it's kind of a sore subject for you, and I hate to bring it up, but week 1.
Mm-hmm.
You get just obliterated by Noah. How did you feel Monday night when Adrian Peterson, he's trying so hard to just get past the line of scrimmage and he can't do it? Like, what was going through your mind?
Well, you see, I don't like to focus on the past. The past is the past. You can't change that. So I'm just focused on the future. Week 2, I got just doing the Landry, I believe is their
That
team
is
name.
their team.
I'm not really too sure. It's whoever shows up on the field is who I play. Probably them. So I don't like to talk about the past too much, if you're okay with that.
All right, I've just got one more question about the past.
Okay. We'll see if I can answer it.
All right, I'd like for you to break down Eli Manning's performance using 3 words or less.
Well, that's not one of my words. That's not one of my words. What the fuck?
The fuck?
What the fuck?
You want to I'll let you elaborate, 'cause that's a very vague. You're just gonna settle with that?
Well, you see, Eli Manning, he didn't have a bad game, in my opinion. He played okay. He passed the ball well. But you see, the Dallas Cowboys, their game plan was just to hold on to the ball as much as they could. That's what they did. The New York Giants defense, they had, 2 defensive touchdowns? No, they had 1 defensive touchdown, another turnover inside their own inside the Dallas red zone. I didn't get a whole lot of opportunities for Eli Manning to, do his thing, do what he normally does, and score about 15 points per game. So, what the fuck?
What the fuck? What the fuck? All right. So, now, we had a lot of kind of harsh comments about how just your butthole was torn up by this trade rape that Eric committed to you. We just want to know, are you going to press charges? How do you feel? Are you going to recover? Are you pregnant? I know it's, again, a sore subject, especially your butthole, but we just really like to hear it from you because there's a lot of rumors going down, and we just, I know this is kind of locker room stuff, but I think it's time to just share it with the world.
For sure. You actually thought it was a good trade as well, so I'm not really sure why you're saying I got trade rape.
It was the media. It was the social media.
Oh, okay. They were saying I was trade rape.
Yeah,
Okay. So I mean, the commissioner.
I was for one.
For those of you who couldn't hear, Caleb Freyking, member of the league and innocent bystander. 1-0 on the season, believes that Sean was trade raped. Where do you think he was trade raped?
In the asshole.
In the asshole. I'll drink to that.
Well, you see, Caleb's just a little salty right now that Drew Brees plays the Tampa Bay Buccaneers this week. If you didn't know who they are, they're actually a team in the NFL, and they're not very good. So Drew Brees is probably going to go off for about at least 20 points, in my opinion. It could be more, it could be less, but 20 points is a solid estimate. And Caleb is just a little disappointed that he doesn't have Drew Brees.
We're going to need 5 Drew Brees.
All right. Well,
So-
I hate to say it, but our time's running out here. I've just got one round of speed questions for you. So I'm just going to fire a question at you. You don't have much time to respond, so I just like to hear just quick. What do you think? All right.
Yep.
You ready?
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
Question number 1.
Mhm.
If you were to have sex with any NFL player, who would it be?
Cody Parkey.
Cody Parkey, kicker of the Philadelphia Eagles. Good answer. All right, question number 2. If you were to have sex with any fantasy owner in this league, who would it be?
Oh my God, no. It can't be.
Myself, probably. If not myself, then. Ooh.
Do you want to fuck yourself?
Yeah.
All right.
Come on, you
More
got
than
it.
anyone else.
And the final question, question number 3.
Yep.
Who do you think has the most clever team name in the league, and why?
Well, let me just
See yourself.
think about this one.
Take a look at the list.
Show me your TDs. It's Eric Palmer Brown's team. Not very original.
All right.
Just doing the Landry. It's original, but it's fucking stupid.
Oh, okay. Salty.
I just thinking through the others in my head. I'd probably have to go with team name owned by Noah Parker. That's a very solid team name.
What?
I think that's number 1 up there on the list.
All right, and before we let you go,
Omar and Fonte home run.
hey, Maureen.
Omar
Oh,
and
you
Fonte
want a slam?
home run.
Maureen, you want to slam? I'll be over there right now. All right, I'll see you later. All right, hey,
I
thanks
want
for
to punch
joining.
you right in that little gut
Thanks
of
for
yours.
joining us. All right, it was great to have you,
Fuck
folks.
you.
Can we give
Fuck
Sean
you.
Van Beese a round
You
of
guys see
applause?
this? Oh my.